Here, folks, so let's move it along, shall you?
I'll go quick.
Okay.
First of all, while it's fresh on my mind, the Street Painting Festival, what was that?
Woo!
Thank you to neighborhood associations. I guess you had 125 or 150 volunteers. And Nadine Burns, I think I said, where is she? Nadine, thank you so very much. It was a really great, I'm going to use the word I hate, awesome event. It was really an awesome event. I spent a number of hours on the shuttle, and I never saw so many smiling faces coming in to the city. It was standing room only on those buses, so I hope next year we'll double the number of buses we have available to bring folks in. Also, I had the good fortune to be invited to participate in a presentation, if you will, at Sacred Heart School, one of our local private elementary schools. University of Notre Dame came into town, and the students put on a really fine presentation for the officials at Notre Dame. They've got a special program where they go out and identify successful Catholic schools throughout America, and they try to partner them up with less successful and struggling Catholic schools so we could, so the Catholic schools can all thrive. And I'm just happy to report that they did very, very well, and Sacred Heart is being considered as an ACE school within the Catholic school system, which is quite an accomplishment. And just some good news for Also, I've been traveling to Tallahassee and Washington over the last couple of months, dealing with a lot of lobbying on behalf of our residents. More specifically, the FEMA map issue. If any of you follow that, there's some discrepancies over how the FEMA maps are being drawn and the impact that makes to our real estate values, our insurance premiums, and things of that nature. We're really working hard to get the government to slow down with the implementation of some of that programming. Also, as it relates to the flood insurance, it's going to really negatively impact a lot of folks. It's going to hurt the real estate industry, so we really need to keep an eye open. And when you have the opportunity or the inclination, please call your congressman and let him know how you feel about the flood maps and the flood insurance. And the other issue we're dealing with in the legislature in Tallahassee is we're desperately trying to come up with some language, some way of defining, if you will, what a sober house actually is. Because sober homes seem to be proliferating throughout the state of Florida, not just here in South Florida, they're just all over the place. Folks are literally going on the internet and advertising their property as a vacation destiny, if you will, under the guise that they're going to get some sort of treatment for their addictions or whatever. So we really need to have some legislation that defines what a sober home is, and there needs to be some regulation and some way of identifying where these sober homes are so they can be properly monitored for housing codes and other types of things. So hopefully, last year the legislature took up the issue and kind of kicked the can down the road to DCF, and they came back with a less than desirable report and made a lot of us very unhappy. And we've asked the legislature to take it up again. I think we might have a better chance this year of getting something out of Tallahassee, so keep your fingers crossed. So thank you, that's all I have.
Commissioner McBoyd?
Thank you. And thank you, Commissioner Maxwell, for your work on behalf of residents here. And I certainly also am very much in favor of making sure that our FEMA, Federal Emergency Management Administration, flood maps are accurate. At the same time, I think, as many of you know, I have an interest in climate change and sea level rise and follow that fairly closely. There's a lot of activity in South Florida, and we're all keeping an eye on that. Some of it, obviously we need things to be accurate, but as the water rises, things change. I was very fortunate to be invited primarily by Mary Lindsay to an effort that she's dear to my heart, that she is trying to bring together some of the neighborhood associations and President's Council of the neighborhood associations with some of the Guatemalan Mayan community, and I believe Commissioner Maxwell was also at that earlier. And in that line, the more substantive details of some of the concerns that folks from those communities raised, that'll come up at a meeting that will ask for a presentation for that. That happens,
Once you pitch it over, we'll roll it down here.
Oh, that's a good idea. Mary had arranged for people to bring their children and so we thought, oh, Now, there's a message in here, and it captures all of the concerns of the neighborhood. You just have to read real close. Or did I get that wrong? The concerns, I was very struck, Mary set it up, and folks from the Guatemala Maya Center, to let different groups break out and go in a corner and come up with what their concerns. It was an excellent way to see how consistently certain things came up. Those are certainly things that we need to be addressing up here. Some of them we already are, some of them we can strengthen. So,
The only correction I would make, Commissioner, is that this was organized by the staff and volunteers at the Guatemalan Maya Center at the invitation of the Tropical Ridge and the Royal Poinciana neighborhood. I was just there to facilitate where I could. And this beautiful banner was created by the children from both neighborhoods, who had a special table set up at the back of the room to keep them occupied while we grown-ups were in the front of the room getting to know each other and discovering along the way that what unites us is far more important than anything that ever could divide us. So it was a good first step, and I hope you will consider inviting those three groups to come and make a presentation and give all the concerns that they were able to identify. Can we hang this in the hallway at least for a day?
You betcha.
Thank you.
Consensus? Sorry, I didn't mean to speak for all of you. Consensus? Okay.
and the only other thing is, I do have a late breaking announcement. It turns out that it's not spring training for baseball, so all those caps are gonna have to go, it's football.
Don't believe him, don't believe him.
More seriously, I did vote to go ahead and, or did we? I guess we haven't voted on the consent agenda yet, but there was a discussion. I think we all have an interest in the issue of how do we feel in the community? Are there any concerns? Are we, basically, it looks pretty positive. But we didn't want to push that to the end of the meeting and make everybody wait through all the other things. So please make sure that if you want to speak on it, whatever views you want to share with the commission, please make sure you get a blue card in so that you can speak next up. Number 7.
Next
We're on
time.
6 now. Thank you.
Commissioner Marceau?
Events coming up. Playhouse is doing a huge fundraiser tomorrow night for themselves. Sound of Music, sing along. It's going to be a great time. 6:45, it's $15, and 100% goes to the Playhouse. So please come out and support the Playhouse tomorrow night. It is Gay Pride Month. The mayor read the proclamation earlier from the steps of City Hall. Compass is here in the audience tonight. They want to invite everyone out to the Pride events. Please visit Compass and the Community Center and online for the upcoming events. Gay Pride this year is the 29th and 30th, with the parade on the 30th downtown. Prior to that, the 23rd of March, the Sunday before, there'll be a celebration of love, a demonstration for marriage in South Florida here at City Hall on Sunday, March 23rd.
Commissioner Zerdy?
Thank you, Mayor. I also enjoyed the street painting festival because I got a chance to keep up pouring beer, which I could hardly keep up with the demand that day. It was tremendous. I never saw anything like that.
And that was just Scott.
Quiet in the chambers, quiet in the chambers.
We helped him a little.
Order, order.
I did want to ask the commission that we try to have consensus on a request to go back and look at the beach decal ordinance so that we might consider inclusion of our residential properties that people own in town here. I've had a number of people come up to me and talk to me about it, and I just thought we could have a discussion. I had over 20-some folks here contact me in the last week or two, and I'd like to see if we might be able to bring that forth at the next meeting. Discussion.
Discussion, sure.
Yes, okay. Thank you.
Okay.
6th and 10th, I just wanted to say, our staff, they really spruced it up, cleaned it up really nice. Driving down there, looking good. Visit our Cottages of Lake Worth website. We have a pretty nice little website going there with a group that's putting a lot of hard work in exposing one of our resources here, natural resource, which is our small little beautiful cottages in town. To let folks know about those as a unique component really of our city. A lot of cities have nice little houses, but I think if you went around town, you'd see so many of them. You get a little flavor for that, and just recommend you check that out. Also, that's a nice song we heard earlier tonight. I like that song a lot, and I appreciate the effort there behind that, presenting that to us. One last thing too, March 22nd is the 3rd annual flopping tournament again. So let's just keep that in mind. It's
Flopping.
What's that?
Explain what fall.
I'm not gonna do that. I'll let you use your magic.
I don't think he can.
But the downtown Jewel neighborhood is part of our city over here, just on the south side of our downtown. And it's a 9-hole course, home and garden tour basically, with a lot of extracurricular fun associated to it. So please keep that in mind. I think we have one more meeting before it even happens, so I'll give another reminder. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. I just wanted to thank Mary and Bruce Weber. This was the Street Painting Festival's 20th anniversary. And it's really amazing things over 100,000 people, of course, out over the course of 2 days, and I want to thank staff too for doing a great job out there as well. MPO updates, just quiet zones, that grant being applied for, everyone bonding together to make sure we get this to happen and get those funds in to take care of the paying for that. Florida League of Cities, they had a contest for the kids. If I were elected mayor, so the kids are writing essays, it's due on the 14th, so our middle school is going to have, going to be part of that too, and also seventh graders only in public schools, Academy for Positive Learning is already applying for that too, and we'll see if we win an award, but the winner gets to be mayor for the day. I have to turn over my reins to the mayor, to the new mayor for the day. So please encourage them and all of that. And they get some gift cards and fun stuff too, but just some beautiful things happening. Thanks, guys. Alrighty.